Okay, so picture this. You're eating some saucy finger foods, and after a little while, your fingers start to get a little bit messy. And so obviously a rational person would get some paper towels and clean off their fingers. That's not how we do it around here. Because today's invention is presented by Wendy's. Go order the new Saucy Nugs at your local Wendy's today. I did sort of already tackle this idea with the sloppy slacks. Basically, when you're eating some wings and your hands get all saucy, you can go ahead and just wipe them on your jeans with the built-in napkins. Then you go ahead and fold up the rest of the jeans, hide them, and you can walk away with perfectly clean hands and pants. But what happens if your hands are currently occupied with, say, maybe a game controller? You aren't gonna wanna get your saucy fingers all over your game controller and make it completely gross. And so this was the exact problem that IGN, the gaming company, and Wendy's, they came together and they said, Matty, you have to solve this problem. Because Wendy's came out with their brand new Saucy Nugs, so they're challenging me to come up with a way to keep your hands on your controller completely sauce-free, but still eat your Saucy Nugs while you're gaming. And this actually comes at a really good time because as I'm rebuilding the studio here, I got something for it that my little gaming millennial heart, ooh, I don't wanna mess this thing up. I got my hands on an authentic, refurbished Nintendo 64. Oh my God, this thing is pristine looking. Why do they not make crystal clear electronics anymore? Clearly, I'm not gonna wanna get any sauce on this beautiful controller. Oh my God, it is so... I haven't held one of these things. I have no idea the last time I played N64. Okay, but let's get brainstorming. We've got the problem we want to solve, and I know the perfect place to start to come up with some good ideas. Because we clearly have the gaming portion down on this, but I think we need to get the saucy fingers portion down as well. So I think I should order the Wendy's Saucy Nugs, try them out, and I think it's gonna help me brainstorm some ideas of how to eat these hands-free while gaming. They've got 4 different flavors and then 7 different combinations of those flavors that you can try. So I'll add 10 of those, I'll do 10 of those, I'll add 10 of these, we'll throw on 10 of those, we'll get 10 of these, 10 more of these, and then 10 of the ones that I'm probably going to regret. We'll find out. I am the biggest wuss when it comes to heat, so those will probably kill me, but I have to try them for science. Hey, just picking up an online order for Matty Benedetto.
Matty B?
Yep.
What water?
Matty B.
I like the mustache.
Oh, thank you.
Get my shape.
It took me a while to grow it, and then I figured out the style. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Unnecessary mukbang incoming. I don't really want to get my hands messy, so we're going in with the fork. And the very first ones, it looks like we've got the garlic parm here. Maybe the spicy one. Saucy Nug taste test number 1. Very solid. Not the spicy one. Spicy buffalo nugs. I think I'm gonna start sweating. I mean, delicious. I just do not have a spice tolerance. Woo! So for the invention, I feel like we need to have the nuggets hovering around your mouth so that while you're gaming, you can just go ahead and eat one. So to me, the most logical thing would be something that's around your neck that has a nugget right here. But obviously I want to eat like a whole serving, not just one of them. So I got to figure out some sort of mechanism on how this might work. And strangely enough, right across the street, literally right across the street here, we've got the Champlain Valley Expo, and that's where the fair is getting set up. So it's like your classic summer fair. They've got a Ferris wheel there though. So what if this invention was a Ferris wheel that has a nugget right in front of your face, and then it spins around, delivers the next nugget to you when you're ready. You bite it, push the button, spins around, next nugget. So that way your hands are on the controller at all times, and then a nugget slowly comes up to your mouth and you eat it. Let's go back to the studio and figure out the mechanism for that.
My thought is that we can use a stepper motor to make it spin around, and this limit switch is going to stop it in the perfect location when we want to take a bite. Then when we want it to spin again, we can use a push button. This is all going to be controlled by a microcontroller, and it's going to be the Arduino R4. My studio is still a little bit of a mess, but I moved things aside and started assembling everything onto the microcontroller. The stepper motor has its own control board, which comes in super handy, that connects directly to the Arduino. With that, we just had to get the start and stop switches plugged in, and now I could go ahead and get this connected up to my computer so that we could code it.
And of course, we're going to be using my favorite coding platform there is, and that's ChatGPT. Why write my own code for the invention when AI can do it for me? We'll get her plugged in. The reason I love using ChatGPT for writing code is that it's natural brain thinking, and you just like put words out and it gives you what you want. So we'll go ahead and ask it, can you write an Arduino code using, and I'm going to paste in the model of the stepper motor that I'm using, and then I can tell it what else is plugged into the Arduino with a button plugged in pin 7 and a limit switch plugged in at pin 6. Now we go ahead and tell it what we want the function to be. When the button is pressed, I would like the stepper motor to spin clockwise, counterclockwise, continuously until the limit switch is hit. Once it is hit, stop spinning the stepper motor and wait for the button to be pressed again. Enter. Then we just let the AI do its voodoo magic, and we have some code. You just got to go up here and hit copy code. And drum roll please, let's go ahead and hit the button. The button is pressed, and now the stepper motor is spinning around. We'll go ahead and hit the limit switch, and now it stops. We hit the button again, it starts spinning again. We hit the limit switch, and it stops. Easy peasy, first round go. But one sec, I realized I never tried the spicy ghost pepper nugs. I want to see how hot they are. I feel like my mouth already knows the fire that's coming. Not as bad as I was expecting. Oh, it's the afterburn. My tongue's on fire. If you like spicy food, it's all you. Woo! It's literally already sweating.
While my mouth was cooling down, I decided it was time to start working on the actual 3D components of this invention. I hopped into Fusion 360 like I always do, and I decided that I was going to work on that Ferris wheel design that I initially was thinking of. I was keeping in mind the sizes of all those different components that I was going to need for the actual motion and control of it. Things were looking pretty good, and especially once I threw on some of those Wendy's colorways, I had an invention that I was pretty happy with.
And so let me show you what that looks like. Except I need my computer open to show you it. So here we have the invention in its entirety, and it's spinning kind of like a Ferris wheel. Right over here we have the pokers that the Saucy Nugs are going to attach to. We're going to slide them onto each one of those 6 different pokers, and then you'll be able to bite them off without using your hands. Then if we have just the base, the stepper motor is going to fit inside there, and that's where the button's going to be that we're going to push to make everything go around. Then there's going to be a magnetic cover on the back, and this is where we're going to house all the different electronics. The limit switch is going to go inside of here, and that's going to be on the top side of the spinning mechanism. So if we take a look at the bottom side of the spinning mechanism, we have these little ramps here. And so basically as it spins around, these are going to slowly hit the limit switch, and then it's going to fall off, making it stop every single time that saucy nug comes up to my mouth. And good thing we've got the entire print farm up and running, so I can run pretty much every single one of these pieces all at the same time. So let's get cracking on those 3D printed parts. Okay, we've got all of the 3D printed parts for this invention. And I went ahead and combined some of the key components here. This is what's gonna house all of the main components, and on the back here, it's a magnetic door that just pops off. We're gonna have the Arduino, the server board, the battery, and on the other side, we're gonna have the stepper motor, the limit switch, and the button, all feeding through to the bottom. Then we've got the main spinning body, and that is going to attach to the stepper motor. Then you see the ramps here on the inside that are gonna trigger the limit switch so that it perfectly stops every single time, and it has one of these arms in just the perfect location for a Saucy Nug. Ta-da! We've got ourselves a Saucy Nuggs Necklace. And it definitely looks pretty unnecessary. And it fits perfectly around my neck. We've got this thick braided rope, but there's one thing that we have to do before we actually test this thing out, because I need something to game on. Remember? Remember? And I do have to do something pretty unnecessary because I've got a brand new 85-inch TV on the wall. But the only problem is the N64 still uses the old classic RCA cables, while that TV only has HDMI cables. So we gotta do baby TV in front of the massively large, huge TV. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I have not done this in probably decades. And we are on. Can't forget our pristine controller here, not a drop of sauce on it. Oh my God, the nostalgia. But I also went back to Wendy's and I got myself a fresh order of Saucy Nuggs. I went for the garlic parm this time because I know those are my favorite. Before I actually load up the Saucy Nuggs Necklace, I feel like we need to make sure that it works as I intended it to. If I go ahead and hit the button, it spins and it stops. I hit the button, it spins and it stops. It spins and it stops. It spins and it stops. I'm gonna call that a great success. One last nugget on the Saucy Nuggs Necklace. Check, we've got clean hands. More importantly, controller check. We've got ourselves a clean controller. Really loving the colors on this one. I think I'm gonna have to make a tile for the wall of narcissism because I think this would just pop perfectly on there. But with that, I would like to thank Wendy's and IGN for giving me the opportunity to make the Saucy Nuggs Necklace. And if you wanna get your hands on one, go to saucynugsnecklace.com. Link down in the description. I'll see you at the next Unnecessary Invention. See ya!